help you find this missing side using the cosine law. Now, if this is your first time doing the cosine law, I suggest you check out this video where I make it a little bit easier and we use our trusty old A, B, and C. This time I'm using the letters D, E, and F so I can show you how to set up your cosine law. And just like always, once I have my known angles, I want to label all of the side lengths. This is angle D. That means I will label this as side length D. This is E. This will be little e. And this is F. And I will label this as little f. And how do I know that I can use the cosine law? Well, I have two known sides and the contained angle, which is the angle between them, and I'm looking for the third side. So how do I set up the cosine law in this case? Well, we're used to seeing it like that. C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times cosine of C. And if you have a look, I am starting with the C squared, that's my unknown side length, and then I have a cosine of C at the very end of the equation, and that C doesn't come up anywhere else in the equation. So in this case, I'm going off script. There's no A, B, and C. We are doing D, E, and F, and I'm looking for my side length F. So what am I going to write it as? I'm going to start with F squared. That's isolated. That's what I'm looking for. And then I know that at the very end, I need cosine of F. If you were looking for a D, you would put D squared here, cosine of D here. If you were looking for, let's say, X, you would put X squared here, cosine of X there. And then that X or D or whatever, in this case F, does not come up anywhere else in the equation, right? I only have E and D. So F squared is equal to, basically I rewrite the equation, but except for I have E squared plus D squared minus 2ED. I guess it would have looked better if it was DE and D squared plus E squared. That's okay. And times cosine of F. I'm still looking for my F squared. So F squared is equal to E squared, which would be 17 squared, plus D squared, that's 30 squared, minus 2ED, so 2 times 17 times 30. Ooh, I hope I can fit this in, times cosine of 35 degrees. Sorry about running out of space there. Okay, so now once I plug everything in, I would have 17 squared, that is 289. 30 squared, 900. I don't want any Speedy Gonzalez typing everything in here. I will teach you why later. And now let's use our calculator to get this value. So make sure that you are in degrees, which is a mistake I typically make. And let's go 2 times 17 times 30 times cosine of 35 degrees. And we get 835.54 for this value here. And now we put it all together. 289 plus 900 minus 835.54. And for F squared here, my value is 353.46. Am I done? Well, does it make sense that this value would be 353.46 when I have a 17 and a 30? No, it does not. Of course, I forgot to take my square root. So the last step would be F is equal to the square root of 353.46. And F would be 18.8. And if my question has meters, my answer will be in meters. Whatever units I use is what units I need for my answers. And that number makes a lot more sense right here. That's it. That's how you use the cosine law when you're not set up with A, B, or C, or with some other letters. Also, check out these videos with sine law and cosine law and upcoming lessons for finding the angle, as well as why you might always get the wrong answer in trig. See you next time.